I would say one surprising thing is that people really, when they are very powerful and they experience, it's amazing how hard it is to change, right? In terms of the reactions and behavior. That is one thing that I learned over time. The other thing has to do with my management style. Okay, if you want to go for speed, then and thoughtful speed, then you have to trade off between a lot of discussion and analysis versus going with the gut. Right? So in order to do that, what I have is a phrase that summarizes the methodology we call brutal intellectual honesty. Okay, what it is there's too many decisions to make. There's too little time, and in order to not just use your gut, sometimes your gut's wrong, then you tank very precious time to retract. What you want is to get all the facts and opinions and wisdom and experience out on the table, have a really honest debate about it, given a limited period of time, and then at the end of that period of time you say, okay, I have enough opinions and facts, let's make a decision and go. Right? In that process, you need people to be very thick-skinned, because I feel that if you look into a lot of situations, people get bogged down into very emotional argument or political situations and so on. It's when they have projected out a theory or a certain way of doing things, a certain architecture and so on, and they put their passion, which is good, and the ego, which is dangerous, with it. And then you see people locking head, and they get themselves into a position that they cannot back off. And then they have to find all kinds of way, either to face, lobby other people to support them and so on, or save face and so on. That is incredibly time wasting, right? And if you recall, this time is the only competitive resource that we have in our hand. We cannot allow that to happen. So what I encourage is people to be thick-skinned about it and put everything out and don't defend it with your ego, and let intellectual honesty dictate. Right, and that's what is it, and the brutal part is the tricky part. A lot of people apply to the other guys. What I really meant when I created the term is to apply to yourself. That when you really put forward a very passionate argument, and when you actually get convinced intellectually, there's a better way to do it. Be brutal to yourself and say, okay, yeah, you're right. I put my best foot forward, and my next try, I go do it your way, right? So in that process, I found out that there's an immense amount of counseling that was needed, because fundamentally, for people to be thick-skinned, they have to be very confident, right? And somehow, people carry baggage in their life and so on, and not every people is as comfortable with themselves as you think they are, and so a lot of the work is really to get them to be comfortable with themselves enough in front of their peers to achieve what I need to do, which is the brutal intellectual honesty methodology. So a lot of the trend I saw is around that area, and that's probably tied to my emphasis on thoughtful speed.